This award will recognize a future-focused individual who leads work that addresses structural racism, inspires and invites others to participate in addressing these issues, and whose work results in change to ensure the success of our community. Nominations for the Social Justice Leadership Award will open this summer with an online nomination. The selection process will involve a diverse panel of community leaders, and we will announce and award the recipient this fall. This will be an annual award, and this year's winner will receive a $5,000 grant for the great work they are leading. More details will be available in June on Greater Twin Cities United Way's website. In addition to the award we will be presenting this fall, tonight I'm excited to present the inaugural Social Justice Leadership Award to one of the greatest athlete activists of all time, Maya Moore. In 2018, this four-time WNBA champion and two-time Olympic gold medalist took a sabbatical from her WNBA career with the Minnesota Lynx. Maya shifted her unwavering leadership on the court to her steadfast work in criminal justice reform. Maya, I am honored to virtually present to you the 2021 Social Justice Leadership Award, along with the $5,000 grant to support the incredible work you lead with your organization, Win with Justice.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's an honor. Man, how inspiring, first of all, to be a part of tonight. The Social Justice Leadership Award, like you mentioned, is the first. And so I'm just really honored to be able to hopefully embody the spirit of what it means to be a leader in the arena of social justice. Honestly, I really wasn't setting out to do that. My journey and my story, it really started a while ago when I just met Jonathan Irons, who's my now husband, through my extended family in Missouri, where I grew up, and through a choir prison ministry connection with my great uncle. I got to know Jonathan and hear his story of his wrongful conviction. Jonathan was wrongfully convicted when he was 16 years old, living in Metro St. Louis, and he wasn't exonerated until 23 and a half years later, last summer in July. And so my transformation story, how I went from being ignorant, not really connected to how to be a part of change, to trying to be someone who helps inspire change, really started with, I think, first of all, knowing Jonathan. If I didn't know Jonathan, I wouldn't be as inspired, or honestly, probably be as motivated to be involved in this movement for change. I learned about Jonathan's wrongful conviction. I learned about criminal justice. I learned about systematic injustice, and I wanted to do something. And so after knowing Jonathan and feeling like, man, I want to do something, one of the first things I did was I tried to get connected with people who've done this before, who know what they're doing, who are experienced in this field of criminal justice reform. And I started to get educated. I got educated through Jonathan's expertise. I got educated through other experts who helped me learn about the criminal justice system. And I was eventually encouraged to pick a lane and run in it, because criminal justice reform is daunting and it can be very overwhelming and intimidating. And so the lane that I chose to run in was in the lane of prosecutorial reform. That's a mouthful. I don't know if very many of you have even said that term before, but prosecutorial reform is a super important area when it comes to reform, because prosecutors are pretty much the most powerful actors in our justice system. They are the ones that represent the people, and they bring the charges. They basically set the rules of the game. And so if you have a culture in prosecutors' offices of just getting convictions as opposed to truly looking at what does it look like to bring justice to their community, you end up with wrongful convictions, or you end up with injustice. And so I went on a journey of learning about what is a prosecutor, what do they do, who is my prosecutor, and learning about how prosecutorial misconduct impacted Jonathan's case, somebody that I already knew. And so Win with Justice was born. Win with Justice at its heart is about redefining what a win is in our justice system. And like I said before, it's not just about getting ticks in the prosecutorial belt of convictions, but it's about, hey, let's look at this case and follow the evidence and see, what does justice look like? There are so many instances, unfortunately, that we never hear about because of a lack of money or power or representation by people in the United States. There's so many instances where there are innocent people in prison for crimes they didn't commit, or just injustices committed in our criminal justice system simply because you're poor or don't have the resources, or you're in a socioeconomic class that doesn't afford you the power to have justice. And so prosecutorial reform, I think, first of all, is about not making it about money or power in order to get justice. Everybody deserves justice. And so what we can also do, which is something that I learned, which I hadn't done before, is actually vote for your prosecutor. We, the people, have the opportunity and the responsibility to be informed voters about our prosecutors, because that's essentially how they get held accountable for the work that they do, the very, very hard work that they do. You know, Win with Justice is not just about holding people accountable. It's also about celebrating the ones who are doing it good and who are trying to humanize people and not just make convictions the goal. And so I have been learning about what prosecutors do. I've learned that I can vote. We can vote. We can become more informed about who we vote for. And then finally, I think the heartbeat of Win with Justice, which is something that is so true to my own story, is we can take the time to get to know our neighbor who isn't exactly like us. That's truly where this whole story for me and Jonathan started. Was, yeah, Jonathan and I are both Black in America, but we don't share the same identical experience. Jonathan will be the first one to tell you he grew up poor. He did not have a lot of resources and power from a community economic sense. And that is one of the main reasons he got thrown away by our justice system for a crime he didn't commit on top of that. And so I met him. I grew up in the middle class. I didn't have everything, but I had what I needed. You know, I had at least one parent around. I had an extended family that supported me. I had a sports environment that supported me, and I was able to move and grow and have opportunities. And so I was able to look at someone's life who wasn't exactly like mine and learn and see and actually look. And when I looked, I started to care. And when I cared, I started to want to do something. And so I just, day by day, week by week, year by year, learned what to do. And then I wanted to share that with other people. And so again, Win with Justice is so much about educating each other, encouraging each other to step outside of our comfort zone, to actually know people who aren't exactly like us. And then that can lead to stronger communities, and also just inspiring that next generation of prosecutor, inspiring the next generation of voter to really know what's going on, to know the values of your prosecutor, to know if they are caring about helping to reform and improve the culture of our justice system. And one of the things I learned from Jonathan, actually, are these things called conviction integrity units, which can be inside of a prosecutor's office as a checks and balances to make sure that convictions have integrity, conviction integrity units. And so if you have prosecutors' offices, prosecutors who are talking about these things, wanting to fund and support and empower these conviction integrity units, that's one of those signs that you know that prosecutor is about humanizing people, making sure communities are thriving and that nobody has to go through what Jonathan went through of 23 and a half years of being wrongfully imprisoned. And so I'm just hopeful that we're talking about it, that people are listening, people are caring, people are trying to get uncomfortable to do the work of building community. And we're only going to be better. We're only going to be more of who we were created to be when we take those little steps, whether it's getting to know somebody that might not look like you, or, hey, maybe I need to learn how to become a more informed voter, or, hey, maybe I need to be a prosecutor who starts to empower these balancing systematic changes. So I'm hoping that we can all just take a little nugget here and there and find a way we can incorporate it into our life. And you guys, investing in Women with Justice like tonight through this award is only going to help those efforts. So I'm just super excited to team up and not just, not doing it alone, but we're teaming up together to continue to try to move some of these things forward. But I'm just so grateful to be here. I know a lot of people are, curious about me stepping away from the game, and I'll just kind of end it with an update with that. And I got to a point where I realized a few years ago that my priorities were shifting, and I announced that in a Players Tribune article, and just briefly talked about how I was feeling like I was needed in other spaces, and my heart needed to be in other spaces. And I made a shift. And one of the main takeaways that I've really realized during this time is how precious our presence is. We're not God. We're not omnipresent where we can be everywhere at once. We are people, and people have a limited amount of presence. And so we have to be good stewards of our presence. And so for me, that looked like trying to be more present for my family, trying to be more present for my community, and trying to be more present for Jonathan's fight. And man, it paid off. I can sit here and say we have a victory story with Jonathan's freedom, like I said last July, but also encouraging other people to really, encouraging you guys, whoever's listening tonight, to just really think about, man, where is my presence right now? Where is my mind? Where is my energy? And is enough of it being leaned towards people, most important things around us, each other. So, think about it and do what you feel like your heart's calling you to do. So, again, just so excited to be partnered up in the same wave of so many great leaders and inspiring people tonight. And just thank you so much.
Maya, I'm in a unique position to speak for a lot of Minnesotans when I just want to say that we love you, we appreciate you, we continue to be in awe of you and learn from you. It makes us happy to see you happy, to see you following and pursuing your instincts and your passions. And I love what you said about caring about one another and educating ourselves and what is possible when we do that, when we look around. And I had an opportunity to meet you and your mom when you first moved to Minnesota. And from the moment that you set foot in our state, you have upgraded us. You have made us very proud to know you and see you grow and flourish. You are a phenomenal woman, and I'm so happy to congratulate you on your Social Justice Leadership Award tonight. And just to thank you for the critical work that you are leading in criminal justice reform. You may not know this, but I have a talk show. So if you ever want to talk about it more, I would love to talk to you more about it. We talk a lot about social justice. Thank you, and congratulations to you, Maya Moore. Continue to flourish.